Kia ora, good morning. So, poop's about to go down and I've got to prepare everyone. So, this whole thing going on with Trump and Zelensky and Russia, right? So, my whole story. You know that for the last few years I've been defending Vladimir Putin. Pretty much since the war broke out, I've been defending him, trying to tell people that he's innocent, that he's trying to rescue children and, stop the organ harvesting and all of that. And I was also defending Trump as well, but my position on that has changed due to information that's come out since I started doing my investigation into Elon Musk. This isn't about Trump and Musk. It's not about Trump, but anyway. So you know what's going on. If you know my story, you know that I got locked up. I got forced medicated because they said I was nuts, because I said that all of this stuff was going on, that my ex-husband was involved, that they were putting drugs in my food. I lost everything. I've been mocked, I've been ridiculed, I've been hounded, I get threatened with deportation every month. Starmer is absolutely after me because he's told so many lies to the king. The king is back in Ukraine, and I keep saying to the king, I told him with my codes, with my physics, with my dreams, with his mum and everything. Starmer's funding human trafficking, Starmer's funding organ harvesting. The war in Ukraine is for human trafficking, it's for harvesting. The EU, Ursula von der Leyen and all of that want to continue this war with Russia because they need children for the supply of adrenochrome. They need the trafficking, the sex trafficking. They need the organs to harvest, and that Vladimir Putin is pretty much, trying to defend these kids and the women and that, because, also they're taking the organs of the Ukrainian soldiers and all of that because they need it. And I've been saying it and saying it and saying it and saying it, and no one believed me, and now it's come out that I'll put a link in the description box below. You can see it all on my Instagram as well and my X account. There's been an investigation, and it's come out that Zelensky has basically, he's been sending social services round to families' homes to steal their children so that they can traffic them. The whole reason for Vanta Black, the whole reason why my son and I want to do Vanta Black, I've been talking about it, about Vanta Black to raise awareness for human trafficking. I told the king Starmer was involved. I presented him with so much evidence it's not funny. And now the king's having him round at his house tomorrow or today. And yeah, and so now information has come out that all of this is to fund sex trafficking, human trafficking, and Zelensky specifically gave his military instructions to take Russian children. So I was right about everything. So everybody supporting Ukraine, the EU supporting Ukraine, the British government supporting Ukraine, I was right about everything. It's to fund the stealing of children, the stealing of organs, Russian children especially, and Vladimir Putin's getting the blame for it, and everybody's pointing the finger at Vladimir Putin, and nobody's looking at the evidence. Like, they're so brainwashed into thinking that he's the bad guy because it's all the media's been telling people for the last couple of decades, because obviously George Soros hates him for turning his back on the WEF. So now they're targeting him and just stealing children. The thing that disappoints me is the fact that King Charles knows the evidence, and with the help of the government and X, I don't know if he's seen a lot of the stuff that I'm posting, but if he is, it's not bothering him. And I said to him, when people find out what's going on, this is going to end your monarchy. Like, this is going to be it for you. You will be the last king. I told him that whether it is true or not, the conspiracy theories around him and his family are going to look like they're true when the truth comes out. And he didn't listen, and now the truth's coming out. And now X are trying to stop me from posting stuff because I'm telling the truth, and they know that if it gets out that I'm telling the truth, they're screwed. So I'm getting it out every other way. I don't need X. I'll put flyers in people's doors if I have to, because God put me on this earth to fight this holy war to protect the children, so that we could sweep the globe of the evil who are funding the theft and the murder and slaughter and rapes and sacrifices of our children and our soldiers on the field and our women for their own sick pleasure. And I have been put on this earth to help fight them, and it seems like it's only me and Vladdy. We seem to be the only ones who care about what happens to the children, because we're the only ones who have sacrificed everything to do it. With my fillings falling out, broken teeth, holes in my clothes, scraping by every month. I get to see my kid. I get to see my boys now, but I want them here with me full time. But that's not why I'm making this video. I'm making this video because something needs to be done now. Like, this is ridiculous. When you've got governments blocking people on social media for trying to alert the king that he's walking into a child sex trafficking trap, there is something seriously wrong with this world when your governments are actively trying to stop people from standing in front of children who are being slaughtered so that their organs can be taken from them, so that they can be used as sex toys. And like I said, it's not just children, they're taking the organs of the poor Ukrainian soldiers as well. As soon as they're hitting the ground, they're taking them off the field and taking their organs. And this is the whole reason for Vanta Black, why this musical needs to be made. This is the whole reason why I've spent the last nearly 3 years on my hands and knees just getting to the end of every month, determined. I might not have money, I might not have the food and all that sort of thing, I might not have the new clothes or new furniture. None of that matters to me. I've got what I need. I'm happy with what I have until I get justice, but I'm not going to stop until I get justice. The NHS locked me up and forced me to medicate because I was defending children who were being trafficked, because I was defending Vladimir Putin with a science that was helping me do an investigation that has now just cracked the case wide open. I've cracked the case wide open. Every single thing that I said was going to happen since 1991 is happening right now. The streets are filling up with people rioting all over the world. But the government don't want you to see it because they don't want everyone to know what's going on. They're trying to stop everyone from talking. But it doesn't matter, because this is the end for them. This war is their last hope. to have control over the masses, and they're not going to win. If you go to my X over the last couple of days, Jesus Christ himself has descended and let it be known that his side is the side of Putin. The Virgin Mary and God and Satan, all of them, the ones protecting the innocent, have all come down, well, up, down to defend Vladimir Putin and his position. Every single thing that I have said, the only thing I've gotten wrong was who was on the side of God and who wasn't. I thought we had the King and Trump, but obviously not. That's the only thing I got wrong. I read the codes wrong. But when I warn people with my codes, it's up to them whether they listen or not. I see the probable and possible outcome. I see both outcomes. I always prepare myself for the worst when I warn people, because I'm so used to nobody listening to my warnings. And then they fall into the black hole, and then it's too late. They come to me to fix everything, and then it's too late. Once I warn you and I walk away, there's nothing more I can do. There's nothing more I can do for the king. He's literally got him at the house today. A man who is giving orders to steal Russian children and Ukrainian children from their homes so that they can traffic them to countries like Great Britain. And I've showed the king. The investigation specifically said pedophiles in Great Britain. Everything that I've been saying, everything that I've been posting, everything I got locked up for, everything they tried to persecute me for. I have been fighting child abusers and pedophiles since my ex-husband tried to poison me. Since Rocio, Ray Nunes from the Air Force, tried to kiss my son. I've been fighting pedophiles. My husband left me for a pedophile and a child abuser. I've been surrounded by them. I've been surrounded by pedophiles and child abusers. People that sacrifice animals, and I've been fighting them on my own because nobody believed me, because the government were in on it. Now the West Yorkshire Police, I don't know if I told you, they're under investigation. Remember what they did to me? They're now under investigation for corruption and money laundering. So it's like everybody who's tried to stand in my way is now getting knocked down by God. And Starmer and Zelensky and probably the king are next. I'm letting you know now, Starmer is going to go down. It is going to be a very public, very humiliating takedown for him. They are going to be known, the Labour government are going to be known as a sex trafficking organisation, a child sex trafficking organisation. And with everything that's been going on with the grooming gang scandal, they are finished. They are not going to, whether they stop me, kill me, lock me up, deport me to Antarctica, it doesn't matter. This is irrespective of what they do to me. I'm telling you now, I've been saying it for a long time. His humiliation is going to be very public, and it's going to be a worldwide scandal that them and the EU have been supporting Vladimir, I call him, what's his name? Voldemort, is it? Zelensky, that they've been supporting him and his sex trafficking organisation. Billions and billions and billions and billions and billions going towards stealing children and stealing bodies and putting Down syndrome kids on the battlefield. He doesn't care about Ukraine. He doesn't care about the people. All he cares about is money and ways to make that money. And for him and the government supporting him, it's through organ harvesting and human trafficking. And poor Vladdy has been trying to stop it, and they're doing everything they can to stop him because he is the supply, and he's the supply, the trade route as well, the supply route. Everything I said, everything I've been saying since the 90s, everything I said since before I got locked up, everything I've been saying since I got locked up, I haven't been wrong about anything other than the loyalty of Trump and the King to God and doing the right thing. So, I'm leaving them to God now. Like, there's nothing more I can do there. But I'll put a link in the description box below. Otherwise, it's to my Instagram, which also has a link to X. I'm probably not going to be posting on X anymore anyway, because I have been told to just sit back and lay low and wait for I nearly said ambush. Takedown. Wait for the takedown. I'll get news that it's over, and then then I can move on. I have been trying to protect the king. I've been trying to warn him what was coming. And now, because of this thing with Starmer and Zelensky, people are so angry that they are denouncing him. They're wanting him gone. There's people protesting up and down the streets here in the UK and in Romania and Serbia and America because people have had enough. It's getting to the point now where it's like somebody has to do something because they are murdering our children for sexual pleasure. Government leaders and world leaders are stealing children from their homes, using the police and military to do it for their own sick, twisted sexual pleasure. And it has to stop. And it's going by the name of Elon Musk and Starmer and Zelensky, and I mean, there's so many names. I'm so tired. I've been fighting this on my own for Vladdy. What kind of world have we become that we're just sitting back and doing nothing? There's 1,000 million trillion billion people complaining on social media about how nothing's been done, and yet no one's doing anything about it. When all we have to do is stand together as one and tell them to piss off. All we have to do is stand together. We need honest cops, we need honest lawyers, we need honest judges to make these arrests and get them off the street and out of our governments and off their podiums. We need to stand together as one. For the people that are protesting and trying to do something, God bless them, but they need support, they need backup. And then there's people like me and Vladdy who are in the trenches trying to raise awareness to the chemical weapons that Starmer's using, and Zelensky's using. They're using biological chemical weapons in Ukraine and in Russia and even here in the UK. The Starmer has broken dozens and dozens and dozens of laws that, should it go to the International Criminal Court, he would be given a Nuremberg number, probably a few. Cruel and unusual punishment, torture, domestic terrorism, biological terrorism, like it's all on my ex. I've researched all the laws that he's broken. I've handed everything to the king, and the king is still funding it and is still supporting it. And the thing is, all the conspiracy theorists it's gonna make all the conspiracy theorists look right. And his mum has been working so hard to bring truth and justice to save the monarchy. But after what's just happened now with Starmer and Zelensky, the monarchy's gone now. We can kiss the monarchy goodbye. Because he's going to be the sex trafficking king. That's what he's going to be known as. That's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking because he's supposed to be smarter than that. He's going to lose everything because of his Prime Minister talking him into allowing the taxpayer to fund sex trafficking of children. And his brother's already in trouble with the Epstein thing. You can't breathe air into someone who doesn't want to breathe. But my brain cannot allow me to live the rest of my life knowing that there are governments out there stealing children for pleasure, that there are billionaires and world leaders and CEOs of companies getting off on doing such sick, twisted things to children, that I have spent how many years preparing myself for this moment. Except when I started, I thought I had support, but it turns out that they were all pedophiles and child abusers, or okay with pedophiles and child abusers, and okay with being around pedophiles and child abusers to the point of protecting their sinful relationships while throwing me to the wolves. Except I came back leading the pack, didn't I? I'll do whatever it takes to get the word out that something needs to be done. The only way we can fight this is if we all stand together. We need to put down our tools. We need to stop working. We need to stop funding. We need to stop paying council taxes, and we need to stop the funding. I don't know about American countries or Latin America or anything like that, but I do know for a fact under Commonwealth law, under parliamentarian law, you have the right to withhold paying your taxes and paying your council tax if your MP doesn't live up to their electoral promises. It's against the law to lie to your constituents in order to get votes, which is exactly what pretty much every member of the Labour government have done. Also, do not let your prime ministers tell you that they can't stop an election from happening. People signed a petition to get have another election, and Keir Starmer said, "Oh no, there's not going to be an election." He doesn't actually have the legal right to say no. The Prime Minister of a Commonwealth country does not have the authority to stop another general election. It's actually up to the Houses of Parliament. It's up to the MPs to decide whether there should be another election. It has nothing to do with the Prime Minister. He has no law that can protect him from there being another election. Him threatening MPs is in itself against the law. And what the voter needs to understand in a Commonwealth country, I only know from what I know from the law from like a Commonwealth British standpoint is that it is not the Prime Minister and it is not the MPs, it is not the Houses of Parliament or the House of Lords that has jurisdiction over the people. It is the people that have the jurisdiction over the Prime Minister and the MPs. It's actually the people who have the power, which is why when you look at like the Magna Carta and even like the Declaration of Arbroath and the American Constitution, they call for, they allow for the people to have an uprising or a militia in order to remove the government. They have the right to be able to remove a government that is either a threat to the nation or a threat to the throne. Obviously, because the king's on the side of Starmer, it's not a threat to the throne, but it is a threat to the nation. There are two laws that are the most important laws in any Commonwealth country that supersede parliamentarian law and even the King's law or King's prerogative, and that's God's law and natural law. And natural law is the law that says that no government or no parliament has the right to tell you how to raise your child, that you can't protect your home and that you can't protect your nation. That's natural law, is family, home, earnings and children. They supersede the most important laws. And then God's law is that there is no law in the Commonwealth that can stop you from practicing your faith. Natural law is also obviously like nature in that as well. Like if you want to plant trees or grow flowers or have bees, they can't stop you. So people need to know the law. Go to my social media and look it all up. It's all there. You can withhold your taxes, you can withhold your council tax, you can stop your MPs from getting their wages, you can stop your Prime Minister from getting their wages. Starmer's been investing millions and millions and millions into properties in other countries, which the Queen told the King he was doing. He's been caught up in money laundering and, Mauritius and all that, and the King's just turned a blind eye to it. Or he's not been showing all the stuff, all the evidence. I have no way of knowing because I'm so heavily shadow banned. Because they don't want my evidence, they don't want my investigation getting out. And the horrible thing is that I know that the King is innocent. I know that he's been lied to. I know that he's been shown things and been lied to, and he's believing the wrong thing because his mum is coming through on these codes so adamant that I try and save her son. And I've done everything I can. So either he's not doing anything, he doesn't care, or he's not seeing everything, he's not been shown everything that I've been posting because, I am so heavily shadow banned. And after what happened tonight with them, with X not letting me put any more posts up in regards to Vladdy and all of that, it just proves that I'm right. So what kind of sick, twisted minded individual is okay with having a job with us stopping people from protecting their children from children? Because the thing is, once they come after everyone else's children, they'll come after yours. They'll come after the cops' kids. They'll come after the doctors and nurses' kids. They'll come after the ex-employees' kids, the Doge kids. They'll come after all the kids. The ones that they aren't killing with the vaccines, making them fertile with their puberty blockers and targeting the children, killing off the elderly, targeting the children. The only people strong enough, with a strong enough will to fight, to protect them and do something about it, are people like me and Vladdy. I will defend that man until I die. Even if I'm dead by the morning. When did children become a commodity? When did children become a tradable commodity? Where did we go wrong in our world history that it suddenly became okay to use children and animals and the planet like disposable tissues? We're allowing the most evil-minded, twisted souls to run our governments. If your leader promised a whole world of things during their election, and I'm pretty sure it's the same in America when I investigated, and then they turn around and lie and go back on their word, that's against the law, it's against the Constitution. There are laws in America, and I know definitely here in the Commonwealth countries, that that are again, like, you're not allowed to lie in order to get votes. It's against the law. Like, there's actual laws in place. If you look at the Electoral Commission, there's laws in place that tell you that it is against the law for politicians to lie to constituents to get votes. And it's the same in America. And yet no one's doing anything about it. Oh, well, what can I do? You get together. You start putting the word around. You spread the word. You get the word out. You get as many people together. You get everybody up off their asses, and you get them going down to your parliament. You get them going to the news. You get them going to your kings and whatever, and you make noise. There are enough good, honest police officers and military personnel out there who will take the side of the people. Because if they don't, it's their children that are next. Once they've picked on the average Joe and there's nobody left to pick on, they'll turn on their police and their military and their staff. And I wish I wasn't right, but I am. And after the post that I got today that confirms everything with the investigation that was done into the Ukraine, it's confirmed everything, and now it makes our king and his prime minister and his prime ministerial government look like a child sex trafficking ring, which is going to make him look bad because of the whole thing with his brother and Epstein, because of Starmer's connection to Savile and Epstein. Like, I've connected all of them. I've connected all of them together. All of them, from Podesta, Starmer, Clinton, Trump, Musk, all of them, in human trafficking and sex trafficking and organ harvesting. And King Charles is getting the blame as well. King Charles is getting lumped in with the same people. And I've tried to warn him for months what was coming if he didn't listen. And he didn't listen. And now, on the eve of his meeting with the human trafficking kingpin, the link dropped in my lap about the investigation. There's names, dates, times, everything, like it's all there. So, if you're defending Ukraine, if you're defending Zelensky, if you're defending Labour or Starmer, you are defending pure evil. And you will pay for it. The karma will come back on you, because what's happening now is that we're on the brink of the old world dying. The new world order is about to be taken down because of this scandal. It's all going to come crashing down now. You mark my words, I promise you. Everybody thinks they're going to put boots on the ground in Russia and that, and it's not going to happen. They can threaten as much as they like to stop any of this from getting out, but it's not going to stop it from getting out. That I am telling you now, the New World Order is about to come crashing down. And if I can't get my king out, he's going down with him, and there's nothing I can do. I can jump up and down, I can wave, I can, uncover his eyes, I can do it all, but if he chooses in his brain not to do the right thing, not to listen, then he's going to go down with the ship. We are on the brink of the end of the New World Order. In the book of Revelations, everybody knows. If you know the Bible and the book of Revelation, everybody knows that this is the part where everyone is about to fall into the lake of sulfur. This is Babylon. This is Sodom and Gomorrah. We're watching the collapse of Babylon and Sodom and Gomorrah. Babylon is falling. And then after that, we get a new world, a brand new world. Vladimir Putin and Russia will come out on top. And everybody who opposed them will suffer. There will be criminal trials. There will be executions. The ICC will be wanting to have quite a few words with Starmer and his government. I've already alerted them. But if we don't do something, then billions and billions and billions of dollars, pounds, euros are going towards taking children from Eastern Europe, so that people in Great Britain and Western Europe and America and Canada and the Middle East and whatever can enjoy a sick, twisted pleasure. And, it's all right to close your eyes when it's in Eastern Europe, but next time it might be South Australia or the North Island. I mean, it's happening in those countries anyway, but not to the extent that it is in Europe and America. And if we don't do something now, all hell's going to break loose. You need to look up your laws in your countries in regards to what to do to get your prime ministers out of leadership. In Commonwealth countries, I know, but there needs to be enough of you together. You need to know the laws. You need lawyers who can go to the media. You need to go to media that aren't being paid by the NWO. You need the right people to listen to get it out there. Enough noise, enough people together, enough noise is going to force the media to listen. There's got to be some good, honest lawyers out there. There's got to be some good, honest judges out there. Good, honest cops who have had enough of the blatant disregard for human rights and for the law, who are being treated like crap, overworked, underpaid, vilified, tarred with the same brush as all the corrupt bad ones who want to put an end to it. They've got to exist. They can't all be evil, right? So we need to get it out there. We need to get rid of these people, and then I need to put on my concert. The whole point of Vanta Black, human trafficking, to raise awareness for human trafficking. But that's why they're trying to stop me. Every month I have to prove I'm here legally. Every month now since October, I get a message to say, if you want your torture money, because obviously the reason why I'm on the benefits is because of the damage that my stomach took from being tortured when my scars and that split open. I've got to live with that pain for the rest of my life. I'm allergic to painkillers, so there's nothing I can do for the pain. But I do it. I'm just waiting to get justice, and then I'll get the money and I'll get the boys, and we'll be happy to leave. But it doesn't matter where I am in the world, as long as I know that there are people funding that war in Ukraine. I will continue to stand and fight for those children. Fight for all of them. And the one thing that I want to say about the whole grooming gang thing, people need to understand it's not just people of colour doing it. The ones that abused me and my son, the ones that have done it to us were all white or American and Hispanic. None of them were Arabs or Muslims or anything like that. So you need to cut it out with the whole colour Muslim thing, because there's bad apples in every bunch. Starmer's doing this because he doesn't want an election, because he knows if there's an election, he's out. And he wants the money and he wants the supply, because there's a lot of money in supplying adrenochrome and organs. The same with Zelensky. He's doing it to stop an election because he knows if there's an election, he's out. And they are the pimps for human trafficking, basically. They're the suppliers. And they have an entire government backing them. That's how sick it is. Where did we go wrong in the world that we're allowing these people to run our countries and not doing anything about it once we realise they're evil? People sitting there saying, oh, we've got to put up with another 4 years. Well, no, because none of us will be alive in 4 years. Between the cloud seeding and the pesticides and the vaccines killing everyone off and the fogs of doom and all of that, they're determined to make sure that they get rid of us all so that they can have the planet to themselves and all the gold and silver that they've stolen and all the money that they've stolen, until apparently Elon Musk gets them to Mars. I mean, like, it's really twisted stuff. Like, Klaus Schwab genuinely believes that he is of an alien race, and these people are deciding our fates. But there's more of us than there are of them, and with good honest cops and lawyers on our side and good honest judges on our side, we can get these people out. I said to the king, let me be Prime Minister. I'll fix it. I'll fix everything. So, sorry I get emotional, but when it comes to kids, when it comes to my laddie, nothing's going to stop me from defending them, not even death. If you go to my ex, you'll see Jesus and I pulled off quite the physics miracle the other day. Undeniable proof that Jesus is here, that Mary is here, that God is here, and that they're all lending their support to Russia. And when you've got the actual Holy Trinity, when you've got the Holy Royal Family coming down to defend Russia and Vladimir Putin, you know you're in trouble if you go against them. So it doesn't matter what they threaten, I'm telling you now, they're all going down. That there's not going to be a third world war, because God and Jesus and Satan and Mary have all come down to lend their support. Just remember the book of Revelation and don't be scared. Reading that report has upset me, because that poor man's been trying to save those children with everybody in the world stopping them. And those children, a lot of them are probably dead now. And they'll continue taking them. Like Palestine, like Syria, like Lebanon, like America, like all over the world. They take them from all over the world. Well, I need to see to it that they're not going to take any more. And I'm hoping that I'll have the support of everybody else around the world. But if not, then it's just going to be me and my holy brothers, my heavenly brothers, and God and Jesus and my physics and my ancestors and all the ones who have been conjured to help me do it. But I am going to do it, because we know how this ends, because it's in the book of Revelation. So don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Good prevails and evil goes to hell. There will be trials, there will be criminal trials, the media will be savage when it gets out. It will get to the point where it'll reach fever pitch, where it will be undeniable even to the media that prime ministers and, EU leaders and that are some of the most evil, twisted people on the planet. Those that say nothing and those that support it will go down with the ones who commit it and decide it and engage in it. So, mark my words, I think we're about to see quite a salacious scandal with Starmer and Labour, and I'm just hoping I can remove the king from it. But if not, it's in God's hands, and I've done my best. I did my best. But I will continue to support Vladimir Putin and Russia in every capacity, even if that means having to double down on my gift and using my gift to physically stop, energetically stop people physically. Um, and then we can all go about our business and clean up the streets, and I can go and build my foundations. Because that's all I want to do. That's all I've been trying to do since 2016. I just want to build my friggin' foundation. I just want to build my creative art foundation for children and make video games and movies and cartoons. But for some reason, they don't want me doing that. Well, I mean, Elon Musk is stealing everything. He's just stolen another one of my ideas. Do you think we should get people on welfare to do my neighbourhood tree? I came up with the idea for the neighbourhood tree, and he's stolen my idea. He's stolen my school idea. He stole my he tried to steal biorhythmics to put in his quote-unquote healing towers, but biorhythmics isn't something that you plug in and has the energy supply. He's got those big healing towers that he tried to, it heals people, but it's cobalt, so it actually gives you cancer. But biorhythmics, yeah, like he tried to steal, as Q, tried to steal quantum magnetics to predict the future. So he's just a big fat fraud. He's just a big fat lying fraud. I mean, even his spaceships aren't original. None of it's original. All his ideas have been taken from other people. And anybody who confronts him on X and says, that's my idea, or you stole that from me, he shuts them down. But it's time to collect. Satan's here. And when Satan's here, that means he's collecting souls. And I'm pretty sure Starmer's next. Starmer and Zelensky and the Labour government are next. They're next on the hit list. And I don't think a single person on this planet is going to be sad about it. Not once the truth gets out. Not once people see what they've been funding. So, spread the word. Get it out there. Show people what it is that's actually going on behind closed doors. In Parliament, in British Parliament, in the EU, and countries like Australia and France and that are supporting Zelensky, it confirms every single thing that I've said that they were up to. I was right about everything. And so now they need to be stopped. We just need some honest lawyers, honest cops, honest judges in every country to do the right thing, because all the cops have to do is investigate even like a single one of my claims to know that that Starmer's broken a law, or that Albanese or whatever's broken the law, and then they have the right to arrest them. Police officers can make arrests without there being complaints or anything like that. If they decide to do an investigation and they see something is illegal, they can make the arrests. It's just a matter of whether the lawyers and judges are also going to back them up. If there's lawyers out there that they don't have anything to blackmail them with, because you know the reason why these MPs and all of that take the side of the bad guys, because they've obviously got dirt on them. But where's people's integrity? Nobody has morals and ethics and integrity anymore. Certainly not in law, in the judicial system, in government. And that's wrong. That's wrong. And it can't go on anymore. So we have to be the ones to be the change agents. We have to be the ones to do something about it now. so that the next generation can grow up in an honest society where being a police officer again is something you can hold your head up to. Because when I was growing up, you respected your doctors, your priests, and your police officers. They automatically got your respect. And now, none of them are noble professions. Some of the most hated people in the world because of a few criminal elements out there. But I refuse to believe that every single cop and every single lawyer and every single judge is corrupt, unethical, or evil. So I'll do what I have to do. I'll lead whatever I have to lead. I will stand up with a microphone shoved in my face and cameras everywhere, doing what I have to do to defend the children, to defend Vladimir, and to defend my poor queen. She might have done things wrong in her life, but she's been working tirelessly to help me bring justice to the Commonwealth, because she knows that we're on the brink of losing everything. The monarchy, the Commonwealth, the Union Jack, all of it, to human trafficking, organ harvesting, adrenochrome sucking, bloodthirsty vampires, and that sorry, that's what I was saying the other day. People need to understand that they are vampires. They are living, breathing vampires. They drink blood. They eat organs. They hypnotize people. They are vampires. That's what a vampire is. And I'm a demon slayer. I'm like the modern version of Van Helsing, but I work on behalf of God. You know, like I've been sent here with the help of my brothers to train me up for this very reason. And I'm not going to stop until the Commonwealth is safe, until the children are safe, until they lay off Russia and Vladimir Putin and let the soldiers from Ukraine and Russia go home to their families and not have to live in fear of being kidnapped or their kids being taken. Because Vladimir and Russia get blamed for everything that the Ukraine and the EU and Britain and the Commonwealth are doing to innocent people. And God's not having it anymore. So it's going to be whatever it is, but I'm not going to stop until this is taken care of. And it needs to be taken care of. So if I have to lead whatever army, holy army, if I have to run for Prime Minister of a Commonwealth country, if I have to become a journalist, whatever it is I have to do to get rid of these people, to raise awareness of what's going on and to protect Russia and Vladimir Putin, then I'll do it. Whatever the Lord needs me to do, I'll do it. And then I want justice. I want my name cleared. I want justice. I want my boys to get an apology. I want my boys, and then we can get out of here and maybe build in like El Salvador, or I mean, I want to build all over the place, but I want to build somewhere where it's safe. I need the kids to be safe. They're not going to be safe here. I can't build a foundation here. The government would steal them for sex trafficking. I can't have a foundation in any country where they're going to allow and fund children being stolen, because I'd go to prison. I'd pick up weapons myself if they came anywhere near those children. I've already almost died twice. I've lost everything, given up everything, walked away from everyone who didn't support me, who thought I was nuts, who didn't believe that I was telling the truth. Because my morals and my ethics are so tight, my brain can't let me function knowing that I'm living in a society where children are just being taken off the street by the government and the police and the monarchy and the presidents and the whatever are supporting it. So, yeah, I wasn't expecting this to be such a long message, but it obviously needed to come out. So I'll put a link in the description box below. It'll take you to my Instagram, and then you'll see everything there on Instagram, but everything else is on my X, including connecting Elon Musk with the cult that human traffics, and Epstein and Donald Trump, like connecting them all together with the human trafficking. They're all in on it. The only one I haven't been able to link into it is the king. I mean, I know what the conspiracy theorists are saying, but I haven't actually found any actual physical evidence. I've found evidence for everybody else except the king. And he's hours away from doing a deal with the devil. And there's nothing I can do. Except stop Starmer and his government and Zelensky and the EU, whatever powers I have to use. But it will mean having to take the king down as well. And I have spent how many months working with his mum since like June or July of last year, working with his mum. She's been incredible. When I have my space program and I build my shuttle, I'm going to name it Red Lil, because we say her nickname is her code name is Lady in Red. I'm Gold Dragon and she's Lady in Red. So I call her my Lil. So I'm going to name the shuttle Red Lil. I think I've also come up with a way, possibly, to be able to fly it unmanned using my brain. Using my mind, using my brain, using a kinetic engine to fly it into space, but that's a whole nother video. All I want to do is get justice, get out of here, and build my foundations in whatever country will let me build them. But I definitely want to build one in Russia and El Salvador. I don't know why, but El Salvador just has my heart at the moment. I've kind of fallen in love with the place. It looks pretty amazing. It looks the kind of country that would be everything that you would want for raising a child. President Bukele has made it a very safe place to be. It's kind of calling me. The only thing is the heat. Oh, I'm already an islander. It's like I don't do well in the heat. But I said to the boys if we went there, we'd have to have a house with a swimming pool. I'd never be out of the swimming pool. But it looks like it's everything that you would want in terms of fresh air, good food. You know, it's healthy, it's safe. That poor bugger's been he's not being treated very well at the moment by some people. Being called a dictator and that as well. It's so sad because I can tell that it hurts his feelings that people are calling him a dictator and saying that he's taking taxpayer money to fund a lavish lifestyle, when I know that he's paying for it all with his own money. But he's too much of a gentleman to defend himself, so I'll do it. Because that's what I'm here for. I babysit him and Vladdy. People need to leave him alone. He's a good man. Whatever mistakes people at any of these two have made in the past, they're certainly more than making up for it now. So they need to be left alone, because as a karmic judge, I can tell you that everybody's given a chance to pay off karmic debt. And when you're making the sacrifices and putting up with the bullshit, and you know, the slander and the gossip and the lies and the accusation to do the right thing by your people, even if you have done things in the past, God will always allow you the chance to pay off your karmic debt in this life. And that's what Nayib Bukele is doing. That's what Vladimir Putin are doing. It's what the Queen's been doing, even in death. Because when you have karmic debt to pay off, you can't be reborn. You don't get to be reincarnated. You don't get to be reborn until your karmic debt is paid off. So here she is trying to pay off this karmic debt, trying to save her son, her grandson, you know, the future heir, trying to save the Commonwealth. Bending time, splitting atoms, tearing open holes in the ion particles of Earth's atmosphere, bending physics, splitting open time in order to get these codes and these messages through to her son. And he's not listening. So what can I do other than direct my focus towards the two that I can do something to help, and that's Putin and Bukele. So, links in the description box, and then it'll take you to my Instagram and you'll see everything there, and the rest is over on X, and you'll see everything there, including my evidence against Elon Musk and Donald Trump. It has been the hardest thing in the world, having to turn two people that I fought so hard to defend in, turn them over, turn them in. Although, I don't know, you know, there's still hope for the king. I don't know. But I grieved a lot. It took me a couple of weeks to pluck up the courage to turn Donald Trump in to, you know, the karmic universe. I make the judgment and then I hand it over to God, the almighty karmic judge, Satan and God. So it'll be even harder if it ends up the king going down as well, because every fibre of my being keeps telling me that he's not the guilty man that the conspiracy theorists and that say that he is. He's just trusting the wrong people. Why believe the peasant when the Prime Minister, who believes the peasant over a Prime Minister? But, I'm just letting you all know now, get ready. The whole world needs to get ready because there is about to be a massive global uprising that I have always called the cleansing. There's going to be a massive clearing of the planet of the most evil, vicious, nasty people on the planet. It doesn't matter if it's a teacher, a cop, a doctor, a member of parliament, a senator, or whatever. When the global uprising comes and the truth comes out, not even the military will take the side of their governments, because there's going to be like a ripple effect. Once one thing gets out, more's going to come out, and it's just going to explode. And within a couple of days, the whole social media is going to be lit up with brave people coming out to whistleblow with evidence that they've been too scared to bring out because they thought they were standing alone. But if we all put our evidence out there, then eventually there's nothing but evidence. No more celebrity distractions, no more being distracted by arguments and, of politicians and that. Like, it'll all just be straight out people whistleblowing and putting up evidence. Because people like Elon Musk and that will eventually be put in jail. Because of people like us whistleblowing. I'm one person doing it with the help of a few other people who are drip feeding me stuff that they have that I'm then investigating and putting together in order to present my case to God, who is the, final fate decider. Satan judges your karma and God judges your soul. He judges your fate. Satan's the one that tells you you're wrong. God is the one that sentences you. And if he sentences you to hell, then, but I point them all out. And I'm really desperately trying so hard not to point the king out. But it might not be on my hands anymore because I was told to stand down and to let my brothers wrap up the last of it. I've been told I need to just take a break now and rest because I've been at this for years. I've been plugging away at this, chipping away at it for years. But none more so than when Starmer got on. When I saw Britain under threat. When I knew what he was doing behind closed doors. When I started connecting the dots with him and the human trafficking. That's when I had to ramp everything up because that's what I'm here for. I'm a guardian for children. Which is why they targeted me as a mother, to make me look bad as a mother. So that nobody in their right mind in any country would want to let me build a foundation that protected children. Make me look like the crazy one that can't be trusted with the kids. Because they're the crazy ones who can't be trusted with the kids. Because that's what narcissists and psychopaths do. They blame you for the stuff they're doing. Whatever it is they accuse you of is exactly what they're guilty of. So, when I went to these presidents and these companies and said, please can you let me build, and they turned their backs or they shut me down or blocked me off, and that is because they were being told, oh, she's crazy, she can't be trusted around kids, and without anyone doing any investigation, they all believed it. But I know that I'll go where I'm meant to go. That if any of these countries are like that, then they don't deserve to have a foundation. And whatever country does have a foundation is going to be making a lot of money. A lot of money. So I'll just wait until then. For now, I want justice for Great Britain, for the children, for Vladimir Putin, for Russia, even for like Nayib Bukele, for all the crap that he's taking, all the salacious things that have been said about him, because it's not fair. We've all done things in our past, but we've all sacrificed a lot to make up for anything that we've done wrong. And although Bukele isn't doing the trafficking thing like Vladdy and I are, he's still clearing the streets of evil. We're all in it together. We're just in different fields and departments, really. But I'll still stand by them. I will never not stand by them. There's nothing either of them can do that will make me not want to support their countries. I mean, unless they let all the gang members out again and it was no longer safe. But, yeah, so I know it's a long message, but this needs to be heard. This needs to get out there. I don't know what's going to come of it, but I know we need to stand together, and I will lead whatever it is I have to lead in order to get the job done. So I don't know if I'm shadow banned enough that people will be able to pass this video on, but I can only try. And I'm sorry I get emotional, but that reading that evidence, reading that report about Zelensky has really upset me. And then, of course, I saw the video of the kid with Down syndrome that he had taken off the street and forced to fight. And then he got shot. Sitting in the trench, smiling, completely unaware of what was going on, with his little stick. And then he got shot. And people are laughing. So I might be standing alone, but I have legions beside me, fighting with me. And I will continue to talk and speak until they take my last breath, which I know they desperately want to do, because something has to be done. And I just have to keep praying that the king is going to wake up, but I have pretty much said goodbye to that. I always expect the worst. I don't mean that in like depressed, morose. What I mean is that I'm so used to people not listening that I don't expect anyone to listen. But it doesn't stop me from putting stuff out, because I know one day the right person is going to listen. I know one day the right person is going to do something. And then we all get justice, not just me and my boys, but all of us, the whole world. The children, Vladdy, like all of them, get justice. And then Vladdy can go home to his wife and his kids and live out his days in peace. And Bukele can do the same. just, chill with his wife and his kids and, yeah, make El Salvador habitable for me. Maybe put some snow in place. See, that's the thing. I need to live where it snows, because a lot of my revenue is going to be coming from Christmas, and I'm relying on snow for Christmas. I mean, for my resorts anyway, my holiday resorts. I just won't be able to put a holiday resort in El Salvador. A foundation I can, but not a holiday resort. So, yeah, so anyway, I'm going to upload this. I need to I'm probably going to sit with my Bible or something, sit with God for a bit, sit with my nan, because that's just, reading that report's upset me. So, I will speak to you later, and I will pray for you all. Pray for the children, pray for the soldiers in Ukraine and Russia. Neither of them deserve to be there. But Vladimir Putin has every right to do what he's doing, because he knows why he's doing it. It's everybody else in the world that doesn't know why he's doing it. And if we could just get everybody in the world seeing why he's doing it, then nobody would be supporting Zelensky or the EU or Starmer. So, yeah, I'm fine. Like, don't worry about me. This is I just seen that Down syndrome boy get shot in the trenches, killed in the trenches. I wasn't expecting him to be shot. Like, I wasn't expecting the ending, and then of course reading the report and everything. It's a lot to take when you're someone like me. So, have a good night. Know that you're loved. Hold your head up high, and just know that God and my brothers and I, Michael, Raphael, like, we're here. And if you go to my X, you'll see the proof that Jesus is here as well. It's undeniable. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. But you're loved and you're safe and you're protected, and we're gonna get us all through this, and you don't need to worry. There's not going to be a World War III, because they're all going to get taken down. They're all going to lose their positions or get arrested. We just need the information to get out. So you don't have to share this video, but if you can, share the link to what's in the description box. Because once word gets out that that's what Zelensky and France and Germany and the UK and Australia and that are supporting, then they're all going to go down together. I'm just trying really, really hard to remove the king from it all before he goes down as well, because if he goes down, he's not going to be able to defend himself against the conspiracy theorists, and they will remove the monarchy. The British will want to absolve the monarchy, because with his brother and everything as well, like it's just going to make it worse for him. But what does Vladdy say? Hope fades last. Have a good evening. And God bless. And know that I love you. And I do love you.